So AI is literally everywhere, right? But actually using it well, that can feel like a total mystery. Why are the results so hit or miss? Well, in this explainer, we are going to move past all the hype and give you a really practical framework for making AI a genuinely powerful tool in your life and work. Let's get started.
I mean, you've totally been there, right? You ask an AI a question, and 1 minute, bam, you get this brilliant, insightful answer. The next, something completely useless, or maybe even just flat out wrong. It's such a common frustration, and it's exactly what we're here to figure out. So here's our game plan. We'll start by tackling the AI everywhere problem. Then we'll define what generative AI actually is. We'll get into how it works with patterns, not people. We'll cover the good, the bad, and the risky. And finally, we'll unlock the skill you really need, mastering the art of the prompt. Okay, so the first big hurdle we have to get over is this. These tools are so incredibly accessible that millions of us are using them based on pure curiosity, without a clear picture of what's actually happening behind the screen. And that lack of a clear mental model, that's the number one reason for getting weak, inconsistent results. Okay, so let's build that picture in our heads right now, starting with a super simple, practical definition. Forget all the complex jargon for a second. The most useful way to think about this technology is to see it as your new flexible assistant. And thinking of it this way is absolutely key. It's not a search engine, it's not a person, and it is definitely not some all-knowing oracle. It's an assistant. Its job is to help you with information-based tasks, writing, summarizing, organizing, or drafting. Seeing AI this way is the very first step to using it effectively. And this assistant is getting more versatile practically every day. If you're still thinking of AI as just a text-based chatbot you type into, your mental model is already a bit outdated. Its capabilities have exploded way beyond just words. Modern AI is becoming multimodal, which is really just a fancy way of saying it can understand and work with all different kinds of information. You can upload a whole PDF and ask for a summary. You can take a screenshot of a confusing chart and ask it to explain what it means. You can describe a crazy scene and have it generate an image. This flexibility is what makes it so incredibly useful for real-world stuff. Okay, this next part, this is probably the most critical mind shift you need to make. To use AI effectively and safely, you have to understand how it actually works. And the core idea is pretty simple. It's all about patterns, not personality. This right here is the secret. A large language model, or LLM, isn't thinking, it's not reasoning, and it's not understanding like a human does. At its heart, it's a super sophisticated prediction engine. After being trained on a mind-boggling amount of data, its entire job is to predict the most probable next word in a sentence, based on the patterns it learned and the prompt you just gave it. And this, right here, leads to the biggest trap of all. Because these models are so good at mimicking language patterns, they sound incredibly fluent and confident. But that fluency is not the same as accuracy. The AI can generate a perfectly written, confident-sounding sentence that is completely factually wrong. You have got to remember this. Okay, so that boils down to three really simple ideas to keep in your back pocket. First, your prompt is the driver. It tells the model what pattern to start generating. Second, the AI uses the immediate context of your conversation to shape what it says next. And third, most importantly, it's a master of language patterns, not a guardian of truth. All right, now that we kind of get how it works, we can start putting up some smart guardrails. The key to using AI responsibly is just knowing what it's good at, where it usually fails, and how to tell the difference between the two. So where does it really shine? Things like summarizing long articles, brainstorming new ideas, organizing your messy notes, or writing a first draft of an email. These are its sweet spots. But where does it fall flat on its face? Well, it often just invents facts, what people call hallucinations, or it misses crucial context and gives you some shallow reasoning hidden behind really pretty prose. So this lets us think about risk in a really simple way. Safer uses are low-stakes activities, right? Like creating an outline for a presentation or simplifying your own notes. The risks are minimal. But relying on it for your final legal, medical, or financial advice, that is extremely high risk. The output might sound professional, but it is no substitute for an actual expert. And all of this leads us to the most powerful part, the part where you take control. If the prompt is what drives everything, then learning how to write good prompts is the single most valuable AI skill you can build right now. I mean, just look at the difference here. A weak prompt like summarize this is going to get you a weak generic summary, but a strong prompt gives specific instructions. Tell it the summary is for a busy manager, and you want the output in 5 bullet points. See, that level of detail is what gets you a quality result. So, here's a super simple, repeatable checklist for you. A great prompt clearly defines the task, provides any necessary context, specifies the audience it's for, sets any constraints like word count or tone, and clarifies the desired output format. Now, you don't always need all 5, but the more you can provide, the better your results are going to be. And hey, don't sleep on the power of specifying tone and style. Asking for a friendly but professional tone versus a formal and direct one will produce completely different results. For any kind of communication task, this isn't just some cosmetic extra. It's what makes the output actually usable in the real world.
Which brings us to what might be the golden rule of using AI. No matter how good your prompt is, you are still the pilot. For low-stakes tasks, a quick review might be totally fine. But if the work involves money or your reputation or key decisions, your critical eye and verification are absolutely non-negotiable. Okay, let's wrap this all up. If you walk away with just 4 things, make it these. First, think of AI as your flexible assistant. Second, remember it's a pattern prediction machine. It doesn't think or understand. Third, stick to safer tasks and always review high-stakes work. And finally, remember the power is in your hands. Clear prompts get clear results.
Look, these tools are here to stay, and they're only getting more powerful. But at the end of the day, they are just that, tools. By understanding how they work and where to put up the guardrails, you can go from being a passive user to a confident, capable, and responsible director of your new assistant. Really, the only question left is, how are you going to put it to work?